Alright guys, welcome back. Map 2, Overpass, picked by Kinguin, who won the first map, Dust 2, Navi's map choice. They've got a chance to wrap up the series. It's going to be a tough map against a team like Navi.
It's going to be really tough, actually. I'm surprised that Kinguin managed to take Dust 2. I thought this would be a 2-0 for Navi, but credit to Kinguin. Even though Kinguin has opted to go for Overpass, I still think Navi should be able to take this map. Like, I don't see it being reasonable for me to believe that Kinguin are going to 2-0 Navi.
Yeah, it would be a stretch. I mean, look, you can look into it without the Guardian factor, but again, Angel top fragged for them without playing the first 3 rounds of the match on Dust 2, so you can't fault him at all right now. Flamey, a little bit lackluster. Obviously, we saw him whiff on that pistol round. That kind of highlighted a few situations that he was in where, you know, he wasn't the Flamey of 2 months ago when he was new to the team, and he was kind of like the revitalized, you know, version of Starix. He's kind of faded away a little bit as of late, so I'd like to see him step it up big on this map. But if Kinguin were to pick up this series 2-0, let's say they do pick up that second win, that's massive for them. Because again, they are going to have that forfeit loss against VP, but it puts them into 3rd overall in the standings, pending what happens with Flipside in tomorrow night's matchup. But it gives them a chance to move into playoffs. Again, top 2, upper bracket, middle 2, lower bracket, bottom 2 are gone. And that would mean Gamers 2 and Team Dignitas have a lot of pressure on them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a 2-0 win here at this stage is massive. I mean, it's more than you might think it is, right? So yeah, that would be absolutely insane for Kinguin, and a hot start for that new team as well, because this is their first official game with Dennis, pretty much.
Right, and that's the thing. They've gone to say he's, you know, he's our sub, blah, blah, blah. And there's a good chance he might be on this roster moving forward, depending on how he plays. And he was a little bit slow to get started, actually, last game, but I thought his T-half was reasonable.
Oh, his T-half was absolutely excellent. He was able to get onto sites, actually get those interfrags onto the bomb site several times. And I think actually, well, I think he had the first half started off with, I think it was something like 4-12 or something to that effect. So not really hot going in on that CT side, but he ended up with 20+ frags. So he obviously had a great second half.
I just want to highlight that the bot is stuck in the door right now, and it is the best thing I've seen in pregame in a long time.
Bot Dave.
Look at Dave. Poor old Dave. He's a little bit too fat to get through the door, I think.
God damn it, Dave.
I'm going to stay here and just watch. Oh no, go back there. I'm going to watch this first-person perspective.
Aww.
Aw, too bad. He's gone.
Rip Dave.
Angel's still in, by the way, so Guardian, unfortunately, I thought originally Ted was blocking Dave, but Dave did it all himself. But Guardian's not back in this right now. We do have... Who's missing right now? It looks like it is actually going to be Zeus, who's not in the server from Na'Vi.
Zeus had the HUD bug. Basically, so the HUD doesn't show up. So it just has to restart CS.
And apparently he's already done that, yep. I hate that HUD bug. I wish there was like a, you get the alt click of it, like your tab key doesn't work because your computer has the alt key stuck down occasionally. Like, that one's not too bad. But, like, at least you can fix it by clicking alt. There's nothing you can do for the HUD bug.
Yeah, I hate the HUD bug and the buy bug. Like, even though I don't even buy with my mouse, but if the mouse is not able to just, like, roam around the buy menu, like, it freaks me out. Not a big fan. Well, it's not the end of the world, though. Luckily, it's an easy fix. It's not VAC authentication error, which just doesn't have a solution to it.
The solution is get a Smurf account.
Well, you know, we saw that, but, you know, teams have... I can't remember who it was. It was Yali or something in that BP Navi game we did on Cobble, where, you know, as soon as it swaps account, then, you know, that one gets the authentication error as well. Yep. Everything's just messed up.
It has a lot to do with the fact that these guys are traveling a bunch, too, and they're on so many different computers. There's so many different IP logs. Like, I don't know how many people in chat have had this experience.
It seems pretty shady, yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly, but I don't know how many people in chat have had the experience where, I mean, even I've had it going from LAN to LAN and logging in just to jump into a spectator role. I'll come home to my home-based computer that's registered with Steam, and it'll pop up with all these IPs saying, "Were these you?" And if I click no, I guarantee you I'm getting VAC authentication errored.
Yeah, you're gonna have a bad time, pretty much. So, Kinguin actually won the knife. So, again, they're gonna get to opt which side they want to start on, and not surprisingly, they're gonna start on the CT side on Overpass. Really
fast push, though, from Na'Vi toward Bathrooms, not slowing down, not hesitating at all. They're just trying to get up toward the site, and they're gonna do so quite convincingly. Now, Na'Vi, no smoke's a bit interesting, because these guys have kind of tokened the quick smoke fast plant behind the box on A strategy that's now probable with the new bomb site. Instead, they're going to push all the way through, and Edward picking up Dennis. That's 2 entry kills that have now gone their direction. Angel coming over top of the back of Optimus Prime. He'll collect 2 of his own. And again, don't fault Angel. He's here right now and playing well for Na'Vi.
Yeah, he's playing really well, and Na'Vi finally got off to that good start they were looking for. And I'm going to be curious to see how Kinguin actually plays their CT side on this map, because obviously we've seen it more and more leaning towards favoring aggressive play on that A-bomb side. Pretty much the only team who's able to play it super defensively and actually get away with it is TSM. But they're kind of the exception to the rule, really, when it comes to defensive setups. So I'm going to be curious to see what Kinguin actually does on their CT side towards that A-bomb site.
Fox trying to dodge the nade. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a frag grenade. He does so successfully, and Dennis, he does at least pick up Angel on the entry as they were distracted out toward Monster. But Edward and Seized come right back, and now Rain's stuck inside the window. We'll see if he can make it rain. Flashbang through. Unsuccessful. In fact, does nothing but slows his push down. And Edward down to 17 HP, still tries to fire with the AK up toward the top of heaven. Zeus is actually pushed forward using the Galil, so this round is definitely going to go the way of Na'Vi. They'll make it 2-0. It won't be the start that we had last game where it's back and forth, but Scream is still trying to at least do some damage with this Deagle. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that he's staying around, because he has armor, he has Deagle, he can still do quite a bit of work with that in the next round, especially if he's paired up with Michael Ellie, who has a scout. But he's going to get out of there, so... I'm sure Kinguin doesn't really get anything done, and Dennis picks up a frag, which is nice and all, but I think they're going to be okay with saving those 2 weapons. That's kind of as good, I guess, for them as getting 1 more frag. I'm curious to see what the default's going to be, yeah. Obviously, we're not into gun rounds yet, but I'm curious to see what the default is going to end up being based on the ability of Scream's aim in this map. Holding some of these angles might give them a bit more free roam position in their 5th spot.
Yeah, but I really like what they're doing right now.
Michael Lele's actually got the scout shot on Edward, and now it's Scream who tries to go over the top, but it's Michael Lele who actually collects the kill. This gives Rain the position to rotate over. They're down only by 1, and Michael Lele is yet to get countered out. Finally, Angel puts some pressure on toward him and realizes, snapping back, that Rain is on the catwalk. And now Michael Lele might just want to hold on to this scout. It is only a scout, but it's a gun that they can keep into the next round and potentially wreak more havoc with, as they will have to save 1 more. 2 bomb plants now from Na'Vi. Potentially 2 rounds. Michael Lele gets seized. Angel's on low HP. He could make a case for this, but he has no armor. He has no kit. It would have to be an ace just to win the round, and he is actually going to make a case to try and at least get guns out of the hands right now, and Angel on low HP might be the next to get caught, but he's waiting, and he hears Michaelele coming, pops out, and Michaelele has no idea he's there.
Really good effort from Michaelele to pick up three frags there. So, yeah, again, saving those two weapons in the previous eco, doing a lot for them right now. Even though Navi opted to not fully buy up with AKs in that previous round, they're still going to notice it. You can see C's is down to 1800. So, yeah. First buy run coming up for Kinguin, no ops, though. And I'm not sure if that's simply because of the money situation they were in, which it probably is, or whether or not they're going to opt to not play with any ops at all.
And Rain getting aggressive, so this is what I wanted to see, how they were going to control this aggro defense. Because it is super important to try and hold on aggressively at A so you don't give up too much map control, but yet not give up too many trades to the defense. Nice flash over, allows Fox to slide into Seized, who gets completely unsuspecting and completely visionless, and that's going to allow now a two-man advantage and a massive HP advantage over the two remaining players now as Zeus drops down as 44 for Edward and 48 for Flamey. Scream finds yet another. That's a headshot, no surprise, into Flamey. This guy's such good value, by the way, on Vulcan. If you're looking at the headshot percentages, like, there's no question that you should always have Scream on your team. He shows off why with yet another headshot. It's going to be Michaelele inside window, but Edward's the last that remains.
I'm pretty sure Edward spotted Rain as well, but Rain has no idea where Edward is. And weirdly enough, it actually works out for Rain. He's going to get out of there alive.
He's looking for at least one exit. He may get a reaction shot, but it's not going to happen. It's Scream to pick up the kill. And only 2 kills so far in this match. They both come in that round for him, but they're both crucial because they pick up the first gun round, and now they can start this CT defense. And no ops yet to come up on Kinguin's side. They're going to stick with this rifle default, and it worked well for them that round, so no surprise. By the way, Angel's bought completely to 0 to pick up this op.
Oh. That's a big investment, but it's a good omen for Kinguin, seeing that aggression from Scream and Rain on that A-bomb site. It's going to be interesting to see if they keep it up. They're actually pulling pretty far back now, just after one flash, but they might actually just go for the aggressive push on long. I like this, the fact that they're actually staying aggressive instead of just falling back towards the site instantly.
And sticking together, because if one player falls at front bathroom and the second's on the backside, it would fall apart, but it's going to fall apart. It gets torn apart, in fact. Angel gets the first on Rain, and Flamey finds Scream when he slides out, so just by giving up the position, allowing them to secure an angle that they could hold, it works wonders. And Navi, I'm going to get confused by that every time I see Angel. They predict that play perfectly. This splits up the defense massively, and unfortunately, it only brings one player over toward the A site, and it's Dennis now that's going to join from bank.
And looks like Navi are setting up for that tried and true A take we've seen so many times.
I like Fox's position, though, to push back up, because with them going in on A, and I'm not sure how C's didn't hear him coming, because he stomped like an elephant all the way to the stairwell. Fox brings this right back to a 3-3, knowing that they've gone toward the A site. He takes full control and gets on the flank. Meanwhile, though, Zeus does get Michaelele down inside the site. He's going to go hunting now for Fox as well, and Fox actually finds the kill on him. He's a wily Fox, and now it's back to a one-on-one. Bomb's been dropped down in the favor of Kinguin, as Angel did take down the last remaining player inside the site, and Dennis. But he has to recover this bomb. Tries to go out and grab it immediately, but he's not so sure that it's going to be given up for free, and to his surprise and much to his delight, it is. Fox wants to rotate back around and cover off the site because he knows that he's got the time in his advantage, and there's no way that Angel can plant it, and Kinguin will pick up 2.
Yeah, so very weird round, actually. So, the A hold from Rain and Scream just completely falls flat. I think it was a pretty shoddy flash. It was very well telegraphed from Scream that flash was coming out. So yeah, the Navi players had long had plenty of time to actually dodge that before Rain and Scream actually pulled out or ran out. But Fox just coming from behind there just made that round.
Smoke out, cover off the choke point. Scream a little bit lackluster and slow in his aim that time, but makes up for it in spades on the shot on Edward as he catches him coming over from the party. Party's over, go home. This gives Angel a bit of a chance to work up toward the A site. He's going to hug the left wall. That'll get him a bit closer to the corner and give him a bit more of a chance with the rifle, but Dennis holds true. Flamey, meanwhile, catches Michaelele in transition, and now he's going to hold that recoil down and catch Dennis. So it does bring it back to a 2-on-2 situation. There's 58 seconds, a little bit more time to work with from Navi's perspective in this round, but Scream's only on 5 HP. That's the other advantage they have right now. Fox has also pushed up onto the stairwell, so he would be able to control this rotation back to B should Na'Vi elect to do so, unless they go big flank. But with 40 seconds, their time to do that is quickly evaporating. And Zeus is trying to find the opening. Scream's actually still exposing himself to these angles, even with 5 HP, so he's not going to give up the site entirely for free. Now he'll go passive with the off chance that they could have gone back to B, but little does he know Fox is already holding that, so he's got to rotate over to E-Box. Surely that's what he's got to do, because Fox is now checking long. But Scream, with Fox checking that, is left on his lonesome. Needs to make this call. He's given up a step. He has spotted Zeus. Fox needs to hurry up and get there. Zeus is going to go for this plant. 10 seconds remaining. They'll easily pick this one up. And they just have to control exactly where Scream's playing from. But Fox manages to get up close a lot faster than they expect. And Flamey slips in behind, though. That'll catch him off guard. And now he just has to hold this post-plant situation as Scream has to go out and try and get on this. Has the kit. He's going to hold this. Does Flamey aware that he's going to hold this? He's still holding this. Flamey gets back out and just in time. 1 second left in the defuse. He picks it up, and Na'Vi will get their fourth.
Yeah, and I'd say Na'Vi was actually really fortunate to pick up that round because there were so many instances where Fox could have picked up both of the remaining members from Na'Vi. And the fact that actually Na'Vi, as you said, picked up Michael kind of just passing by while he was shooting for Dennis is obviously, you know, not calculated from Navi's side. That could have very easily been 3-3 for Kinguin.
And Rain's up toward the bathrooms again. 1 loss after 2 wins, and they're already broken on the economy because the rounds were so close. That gives Angel a bit of a chance now to use this M4 out toward long. Pops a nade down behind the rock as well, just in case anyone's there. Nice shot by Rain, though, as Edward walks directly into his crosshair. Great placement from him. Now Flamey has to try and recover this lost body. Leave no man behind, as Rain falls back using the AK now. Realizes that Flamey's coming up, another for him. And he's going to try and get a third out toward long, but Angel eventually does put him down. But Angel's on 16 HP as a result. And there's no armor. Rain, the aim punch, couldn't secure that shot. Now Scream, though, using the deagle. Scream makes no mistake at all on Zeus. Meanwhile, though, Seized comes back around. Bombs dropped inside the bathrooms, and Seized is aware that Fox has gone for that flank play 3 rounds consecutively. And third is a charm, at least from Navi's perspective, brings it back. HP at full advantage right now, still to Kinguin. Bomb has been recovered by Seized. Angel's going to join back over to try and help him out taking A. They've sent 1 player back over Scream onto the B site. Dennis needs to push up and figure out no one's at long, but if he gets too far away, he's going to leave that second man inside the site. Michael solo, and that's what's going to happen anyway because Seized gets in behind. Michael does pick up the first. No, not a chance on the second, but 16 HP and a one-on-one with Scream. Who's gone the long way, not enough time. Scream knows it too. This is the second time this has happened now for Na'Vi, and they're going to pick up a 3rd round, and Scream, he just falls back. He does pick up a gun on his way out as well, so that's another victory, an AK-47.
And again, very weird round coming up from Na'Vi. Not something new, the fact that Na'Vi spends a lot of time just getting to a bomb site on pretty much any map, but no, that was just really weird, especially when they found Dennis in that of an open position. The fact that they opted to go further in on the site instead of just planning in that safe spot towards the restroom area. But yeah, tables have kind of turned now because now Na'Vi are the ones force buying, and well, they do have a couple of nades, but not really that much to work with. And I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw something similar to, well, if we saw that standard A-take from Na'Vi coming out, because they desperately need to go to their kind of safe card to try to pick up a round if they don't want to lose 2 consecutive rounds here.
And look how much more passive it is this time from Kinguin with the guns back out. Rain's going to play back with the smoke, potentially cover off the choke point at long.
Yeah, I think they're expecting an eco here. I think that's why they're playing so passive. They don't want to get caught out by, you know, Tech-9's bomb rushing, something like that. You know, if that is their thought process, it definitely makes sense. But obviously now they're getting a lot of room to just play around with here. They're actually moved all the way over towards B, so...
Fox finds the first through the monster. It's Seized that gets caught off. He wants more, and he's not going to find it. Edward slides immediately back out. That'll give him the kill. So it's a trade. Still a man down, though, from Navi's perspective, and Dennis has to come back around. Manages to do so. Picks up 2. So Dennis, although he was slow to warm up on Dust 2, is making his impact and presence felt here as Scream will close out on Edward. And it's 4-4 just like that. But 4 rounds already, Na'Vi. This isn't too bad now. Typically speaking, they get 6 to 7 on Overpass T-side.
Yeah, Kinguin are actually in a pretty alright position themselves. Like, they're most likely going to pick up this round. It's not that big of an investment for Na'Vi. Only 2 Tech 9s and a P250 picked up. So this should be a fairly straightforward round for Kinguin.
I apologize briefly for the alt tab. I had to secure something, make sure the stream wasn't going to crash for a second there, but that's not. We're good. And Rain now sees Zeus responding, but Scream, again, this guy is so solid from inside the bathrooms, and he gets the third, looking for the fourth, flashed out of it, switches to the pistol, and Michael, how rude, robs Scream of it, but at least he gets the assist, and it's going to give them the lead, more importantly.
Yeah, kind of surprised to see that Kinguin opted to play aggressively, since they played passively the previous round, and I would have expected them to think that was an eco. They should have known that this was an eco coming up, and then playing that aggressive could easily catch them out. And, well, if Scream doesn't go absolutely Super Saiyan, then that's A-site loss, really, for Kinguin. And now I see the aggression that they had in the first buy round as well, and same result, one more time. Rain picking up that frag onto Angel.
Dennis realizing that there's a threat that exists at the B site, has to fall back rather passively onto Catwalk, potentially give up an entry point. And Scream, they fall back from bathrooms, and I like how safe they're being. Flashes over just to be sure that they're not going to get caught in transition, heading back to a rotation or at least a passive play on A, so they can support on B when the time comes. And interestingly enough, oh, I take it back. I thought Edward was, from the overlay perspective, onto the Catwalk and potentially dropped inside the water on the inside of the site. He's not. He's out toward construction still, so my mistake on the read.
Still like what Kinguin are doing, though. Well, actually, as I say that, they go on the aggressive, try to get some information. But I was actually kind of liking the fact that they pulled back after getting that first drag on long. Just holding back because they know they're at a mad advantage and they should be able to get rotations in time with that. But right now, Na'Vi do have a okay chance to actually take this site.
Zeus looks for the shot over top of the dumpster, trying to collect the player on the stairwell, and it's Michael who takes advantage of that situation, knowing that they're all tunnel vision to the right. Slides out, catches seized, and now Edward gets the option to come back around and climb over top of Optimus Prime, but he hasn't transformed it into a kill just yet, as Scream still waits, and there's a head waiting, but Scream, oddly enough, hasn't found it just yet. Now he does, as Edward will go down. Zeus waiting in front of Bank, hoping someone's going to push in his position, and it's Michael who unfortunately does. So Zeus will pick up that kill. But Na'Vi still haven't secured decent angles on the post plant because Fox again on the flank. He is awesome on this map, I have to say. He's up to 10 kills, ties up with Scream, and he'll get the defuse as well.
Yeah, Fox rotations have been pretty solid all over. He's been able to get, I think it's until 5 big frags in a retake situation now. That's secured rounds for Kinguin, so he's definitely doing his part.
Angel, by the way, still leads the way.
Yeah, and this is a big round for Na'Vi because they just bought completely up. And again, the aggression for Kinguin working out perfectly. Already got that opening frag. 2 actually for Rain here. And already this round is just pretty much dead for Na'Vi.
I really like Kinguin's default on this map. The rifle and aggression. No op to hold long. They just use the angles and then the movement basically to their advantage. This is actually really fun to watch from their perspective. But Na'Vi, meanwhile, they've only canceled it once, and it was when they got the Angel and then tick down Scream as well from Flamey out toward long. They've yet to really get control of any position out toward A and force the hand of Kinguin, so they really need to step up and take the fight. As again, right now, they are 2 men down, and like you said, they heavily invested into this round. There won't be much moving forward left in their bank account.
Yeah, and, you know, as soon as Na'Vi inched closer towards that A-bomb site, you could see Fox coming around with that rotation once again.
Will come from Rain, who gets the first 2 kills. Alright, take that back, actually. Fox collecting on 1 again, coming out from that flank. And I don't know how they haven't been able to stop Fox when he's come up the stairwell every single time. Even if you have to leave someone in the underpass to collect on him as he comes through. I mean, potentially you do that and you open up a chance at B because that's one of your B defenders down. So you'd think they would have found an answer for that by now.
The problem for Navi is the fact that since they're losing so many opening frags to Kinguin, with Rain and Scream going aggressive all the time, they don't really have the manpower to actually put pressure on A side and still leave one guy behind to force a rotation from Kinguin.
And this time they actually get aggressive in the underpass, as mentioned, and it's the other direction that Kinguin chooses to come from. It's down the stairwell. Rain managed to collect one when he got out the door, but now Scream's in a very tight position. Scream's gonna fight himself out of it. Scream's gonna collect all three. Never mind the aggression. Now, he was against the pistols, but either way, he was still stuck in the corner and 1 HP when he gets away with that last kill. It's just never going to work for Navi, is it not?
I mean, there's not really that much you can do when Scream's just hitting every shot he takes. It's not an easy task.
7 HP left for Angel. He goes down to Dennis immediately after. And they'll double up. It's 8-4. Now we see guns. Now the question is, how's the aggression going to come from Kinguin, and can Navi read it? They finally get people in underpass, and that's exactly where they show up from, so we'll see what the answer is going to be. Even if Navi slow it down, they're usually quite good, actually. They're normally a team who plays so passive and executes so quickly that they catch teams off for being aggressive, and it's just not working for them in this map.
Yeah, getting that off is going to be a big part, especially if they play passively. I wouldn't be too surprised if they just put Angel in a position where he just holds an angle towards long and just sits there.
Rain and Scream again continuing to work well together. They got up on top of Party and then make that call immediately. Scream says, I don't see anyone. Here's one crossover, and then they fall together. They're just working in tandem so well right now. But again, Angel has got out toward long. The last time he got in this position for free, he did collect a kill. And then it was immediately picked up with a double from Flamey. So this gives Navi a bit of a chance to work with. In fact, C's is going to catch Fox. There we go. Finally, the rotation player, that lurk player in Fox, has gone down early. Rain slides out, though, and takes the head immediately off of Angel. So they bring it right back, and where's the opportunity going to come from Navi? It's going to be over at B. They're going to take advantage of the fact that Fox has gone down. And this is exactly the play in space they need, but Dennis, using the mound of dirt to his advantage coming out of the water, finds over top on Zeus, and it's Michael to contribute on the next as Dennis picks up a double. It's Flamey that drops down, and Edward, he can do no more. They will not pass in toward the B site at all.
Great hold from Dennis there. Just getting that first frag, obviously, the guy crossing over towards that big pole, and then helping out Michael with the kill onto, I think it was Flamey who jumped up on the rock there. Or might have been seized, actually. But yeah, great hold from Dennis, and obviously picking up Angel at long kind of alleviates pressure for the two guys on A as well. So Kinguin are just playing a really good CT style right now.
Did someone honk a horn outside your house?
Yeah, they did.
That was amazing.
Sound quality, man.
Get them to honk every time Scream gets a headshot.
I should put up a poster outside of my house, right? Honk if
you're screaming.
Honk if you're screaming.
And Fox, he'll slide out toward Monster. Does a little bit of damage to Seized, but takes an equal amount in exchange. Navi, again, they still want to pursue on this A site. Again, A is so good for Navi normally. They smoke it off. They get the bomb down so many times, but Fox has been on the flank so quickly they haven't been able to secure post-plant positions, and they haven't been able to take down Rain and Scream consistently enough. So Seized, this time again catching Fox. That's the second round in a row. Gives them a bit of a chance, but Scream dodging the flash gets two. Zeus is the second of which, and this guy's accuracy is definitely on point right now. Edward will at least make him pay when he tries to fall back passively, and Edward makes up for lost ground, taking down Rain now as well, forcing the rotation from Michael. Flash goes a little bit deep, so he's not full blind, still has vision, but needs to slide further up because he's prohibiting the entry from his teammate. And as he does, Angel turns back from bank, and Angel just barely getting down the stairwell before Dennis gets his crosshairs fixed firmly on the back of his head. He still knows that Angel's down there, though. And he's going to try and fall away. He may catch one more and Seized. Now gives himself a bit of a chance. He knows that Angel's down here somewhere as well. And Dennis, welcome back, sir. Picking up a double, but Edwards planted it over at B, hence why both players were working in that direction. It's a one-on-one. There's decent opportunity for Dennis to try and clutch this out. Has a kit. And this would be another 1-on-3. We saw Scream do it in the first game on Dust 2. It's Dennis's turn to shine. He hasn't found the player just yet. And time continues to tick away. He wants to stay silent, but he's going to have to bait this out. This one will be a fake. He's got the time, but Edward's already hot on his heels and comes around the corner with the knife still out. That's going to give the round to Navi. Finally, they get the fifth.
Finally. So that's only their second buy round that they've actually picked up this entire half, because they won, obviously, the first three rounds after picking up the pistol, but it seems like whenever Kinguin decides to hold off with their aggression towards A, Navi gets too much room to play around with. And that's kind of what happened there as well. Even though Scream picks up 2, which is a great job, they're still so mushed into the side, and it forces a rotation that Na'Vi are able to take advantage of.
And passive play on B this time from Na'Vi. Double aggressive play from Dennis and Fox as they try to rotate around in toward that underpass area, and Rain's actually gotten down in the stairwell, using a smoke to his advantage so he can stay on the ledge, not get shot from down below where his vision wouldn't be allowing him to see, and still spot toward the party, and now he realizes, but he's off the ledge, so if someone pushes through the smoke behind him, he's going to be in a world of trouble, and that's why the flank's coming in from Scream, or rather, excuse me, from Dennis, but Scream meanwhile gets Edward, Seas picks up 2, and Rain drops Zeus right back down. Flamey though, nice shot, brings it back to a 2-on-2.
Cease actually tagged Fox down to pretty low HP with the standard spam that he always does at the beginning of the rounds towards B. So Fox was down to 13 HP, so that was a pretty easy pickup for Cease eventually. It's a good job. Still have to get past Michael Lilly here.
Scream sliding out long to get information on this. The problem is they're on B, and he's a long way away. In fact, almost the longest position you could be away from a rotation. I didn't even draw that correctly, and it's still 17 seconds for him to get there. Michaelele is close, though, and if he bounces that flash, or excuse me, that fire at the right position, well played, immediately extinguished. And that gives Michaelele at least the shot on Seas, but it gives him a potential exit from Flamey's perspective, and Michaelele whiffing on the first shot. It still forces him directly toward where Scream's clutches are waiting, and he'll take the kill. This will give it a 10-5 halftime scoreline. Kinguin, an excellent CT half.
Very good, especially considering they lost the pistol, so pretty much 10 weapon rounds for Kinguin in the bag, and well, they have all the reason in the world to be happy about it, and especially with the fact that their aggressive setups worked out so well. They basically disrupted Na'Vi so much that they weren't able to do that A execute that we saw, for instance, at Star Ladder. We saw that all the time when they played Overpass, and now we saw it maybe once. And that was all, you know, that was the only opportunity they actually were given by Kinguin to actually set that up.
I have to do the sponsor obligations. I forgot to do this in the first game, Vendetta. We're gonna be fired.
I mean, yeah, like, this is our last game ever. It's over.
There are people rejoicing on HLTV right now. Oh, here we go. Pistol underway.
Yeah, and you talked about Flamey before the second map started, that we haven't seen, you know, the best side of Flamey as of yet, and he's kind of yet to shine as well so far. So I think if now he wants to bring this back, he has to come up big in this half.
Angel's already pushed down long. He's actually got around the corner almost for free until Michaelele realizes late, but he's on 22, and the Glock still reigns supreme. It actually catches Angel with a headshot. So Michaelele, nice recovery, but meanwhile, Kinguin, they've pushed up onto the A side aggressively. Scream over the top of the dumpster will find Flamey. 2 still coming in from the bank perspective, and down they go. It's going to be Scream with both of those. How fitting that he picks up that many kills. 3, in fact, on the pistol, and both pistols have gone to the T side. 1 for Na'Vi, 1 for Kinguin.
Yeah, Kinguin are looking at a 13-5 score here. And, well, Na'Vi, they're going to decide to force buy here. Actually, well, kind of forced by. Angel's not opting to go with the armor, even though he could afford it. So, not really sure why he wouldn't go all in. But in any case, this is kind of a big round for Na'Vi, because the next round they're not going to be able to buy anything at all.
Zeus, though, using the CZ-75. He will play the role of a god as he takes down Dennis and gives them a bit of a chance here with the man advantage. And Angel getting in position, can't do anything with the Deagle. It's actually Fox that tears his head off. With the AK in return, Michaelele pushes to Catwalk. Post-pant position secured based on that alone, and now Fox finds Seized as well. Fox is having a whale of a game right now. And it's going to be Fox again that looks for the kill onto Edward. Spamming away, will find it. Potentially going to get Flamey as well. He does. That's 4. And can he get the ace? Unfortunately denied. Bad-mannered Zeus. And it's still... Oh, I would have loved that if Michaelele had hit that shot with the P90. But it's going to give the round away to Kinguin. They'll go up to 12-5. Remember, they already picked up the win on Dust 2. So this could be the series a best of 2 going their way if they can continue on with this momentum.
Yeah, Rain does die to the bomb, though. Not the biggest thing in the world for them. They're still going to be able to buy up with pretty much what they want. Scream, the only guy who can't afford AK armor. But it seems like he's going to be... Yeah, they're going to drop a couple of weapons around. Everyone's going to get a nice bit of weaponry to go into the last anti-eco round. And yeah, you pointed out, if they win this, they're going to be up 2-0. And that's a massive thing in this league to actually get a 2-0 win. Because pretty much everyone draws against each other. And especially because it's Na'Vi, which is probably the hardest, you know, opponent they're going to run into. A-stack from Na'Vi doesn't really work out. That's a free bomb site for Kinguin.
Yep. And I mean, you gamble at this point. They're going to be buying guns in the next round regardless. If they could pick up an eco early, it would reset the economy and actually give them a massive chance back into the game. So not a tragedy that this round is given up essentially for free, as you say, but we'll see if they can at least do damage to the economy of Kinguin. So far, not able to, but Dennis, okay, he does check the corner. He almost walked out and gave C's the stab in the back. Should he have chosen to take it? And either way, and Zeus is going to at least prevent them from getting the CZ-75. It will be 13-5 before Na'Vi get the guns out in response.
Kind of curious to see what the headshot ratio for Scream is in this game, because I can't really remember him not hitting a headshot. Okay, according to the in-game stats, it's 68% in the first half and 80% in the second half. But I know that that thing is not accurate at all, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been on fire. Meanwhile, it's going to be Fox that takes down Flamey on the entry. This forces Zeus to come off of the catwalk, and he switches over for a nade quickly and almost gets caught out for it. Manages to turn back and get now a reload in, but again, he's giving up space every time he has to fall back passively like this. Rain, meanwhile, does catch C's rotating over, playing that lurk inside construction, and with Scream catching Zeus, the site's now open for business until Angel arrives, and Angel, through the edge of the smoke, can't do much damage to Rain, who, forced to fall back, finds Edward coming in from the squeaky door, flashing over, trying to make life difficult for Angel. And there are no angels in hell, but it's a hell of a situation to be in. It's a 1-on-3 post-plant situation, and if he can pull this off, it would be miraculous, but Scream's not going to allow it. It's 14 rounds now, Kinguin.
Yeah, great entry frag from Fox, but they almost messed that situation up, because when they were trying to get Zeus down and actually get control over the bomb site, they went in one by one, so Zeus was able to pick up 2 frags, and Scream could have easily joined Dennis there and gotten a quicker trade, but they gave Zeus the opportunity to actually hold off that bomb site for quite some time. But in the end, it works out for Kinguin. Na'Vi forced to buy up without whatever they have at this point, and it's not the most impressive buy in the world.
Scream, 1 taps on the entry. Man, the guy is nuts. There's no question about it. And it's exciting to watch on this team. There's a lot of question about putting 5 All-Stars together, how much they could really accomplish together, or if it was just going to be a bunch of highlight reels and not a lot of wins. But this is promising today. That has to be said. Now it is online, but they did win the Gamers Paradise LAN this past weekend. Now they're trying to qualify for ESL. And they made it out of the BYOC at DreamHack Summer. But Scream now going to contribute to his kill tally yet again. 2 in this round, knocks him up to, I believe, 26. We'll take a peek in a second as Flamey has to concede victory to his opposition here. And hopefully at least holds on to the FAMAS. Won't even do that. Dennis gets him, and that's going to put us on match point. 10 match points to work with for Team Kinguin.
Yeah, and in addition to that, the force spike coming in from Na'Vi is not going to be too impressive either. It's actually going to be worse than the last time around. So, not a great situation to be in if you're Na'Vi. Kinguin, they've just been getting they've been getting that entry frag onto V so easily. Fox and Scream just doing a massive job. And yeah, it's actually so bad that Na'Vi are going to opt to stack towards that B-bomb site.
He's getting aggressive from Na'Vi's perspective this time. Tries to fire through the smoke at the short pipe to no avail. Catches 1 bullet onto Dennis, and that is it. But Rain does catch seized again, so man advantage to Kinguin. Zeus responding, though. Excellent trade. Gets aggressive. Forces the issue against Rain. Meanwhile, Fox is lurking up toward the A site. Bombs in that direction as well, excuse me. And Zeus will catch Dennis coming through, but Edward, look at this. He's got behind them that P250, the whiteout. And he wants to white out the opposition right now as he takes down Scream. Erases him from the board. And Angel, he'll take down Fox as well. Gets inside the site, and Angel closes it out. Michaelele might have found Edward, but that's all he gets. And they'll prolong the inevitable and make this at least 1 round further.
Yeah, getting that return frag onto Rain there, so they don't lose control over the small pit area outside of B. Pretty big for them. Knowing that Dennis was pretty tagged up as well, having, I think it was C's pushing aggressively after, or it might have been, no, it was Suez pushing aggressively afterwards. It's a nice move from Navi. So they're definitely making the best out of it, but still, as you said, they're kind of just delaying the inevitable because there's so many map points going further for Kinguin. It's hard to see them actually losing out this entire map. And again, just Navi are just making crazy stacks every single time, which kind of makes sense because they have to put all their eggs in one basket at this point if they want to win.
Dennis's entry prohibited. Flames are gone. We'll see if he can find one when he sneaks around the corner. Seized is up close. In fact, Seized might get closer still. And can Dennis land the shot? No, it's Seized! The AK comes out, takes the advantage in the situation as I lose track of my spectator. But it's Rain that now drops as Edward slides out from the truck and catches him at the front of bathrooms. Fire again used to delay Kinguin's entry, and they're 2 men down in the situation as Fox tries to collect Angel, transitioning away from the bank. Smoke's going to give him a bit of space to work with here. And as the nades bounce in, he's just going to hide in the corner and make sure no flashes will catch him off as Fox around the corner pulls a U-turn, realizes Zeus is aggressive, but it's Edward who lines up too. Scream responding into him, and it's now down to, sadly, just Scream remaining. And he'll do no more. It's 15-7. They'll make it a little bit closer again.
If Dennis picks up that enter frag onto Siege there, then that's probably just game just completely, because again, Navi last time around they opted to stack towards the B bomb side. This time they decided to go for a 4-man stack on A. And if Cease goes down, that's an open bomb site for Kinguin. But luckily for them, Dennis goes down and they're just able to roll with it on A as well. I like that though. Finally got off on Angel on the CT side. The aggressive push gives them an early entry, and already from this point on, they can play so passively, and this is something that Navi are normally very good at.
Oh, it's going to be Seized again, holding out toward Monster. Passive player in behind him at Toxic as well, and Angel trying to do something with this op. Navi showing a little bit more life, a little bit more aggression with Michaelele already down. Zeus is going to go once more on the attack, and he'll find Rain coming up from the water. He may find more, he won't. Fox won't allow that, so Seized now has to hold inside the site. He does so successfully against Scream, who gets out-dueled for one of the few times in this match, and now Dennis sliding over, has a chance to find Seized, and now they've got the situation at least nullified down to only a 1-man deficit. And watch for the rotation coming through from the stairwell. It won't even get there. It doesn't need to, as Angel up close annihilates Fox.
Again, good hold, and with Navi getting that early frag from Angel towards, well, I guess the playground area, that just allows them to place passively and just hang back. Even though Zeus opted to go aggressive on short, they still wouldn't be in that much of that much trouble, because it just would have been even out 4-on-4, and they could still play passively from site. This time, Angel's, well, forced back, but Edward's gotten into a really aggressive position here at long.
Angel nading out top of the stairwell just to make sure anyone coming through would have a friendly welcome. Sadly, his parting gift, or welcoming gift rather, has no visitors, and it's going to be Edward that finds Fox. Meanwhile, up toward long. Screamy, though, he's going to go ahead and take down Edward in response, so it evens it up, but Seized again using the water, the construction spot to his advantage. Brings it back in the favor of Team Navi. Meanwhile, Angel still looking toward long, hoping someone's going to come that direction. They need to be a little bit careful, though, because as they're holding the long, they are giving up the short. And Rain, as a result, he actually gets dropped down. It's Flamey to collect 3, knocks them all away. And thank you very much, Mr. Spectator, for knocking me out of first person.
Classic GoTV bug.
It's so lovely.
Yeah, Navi picking up yet another round.
And Kinguin forced back on an eco as a result.
Yeah, but Kinguin are running into the same issue that Navi are, really, or Navi did in the first half. Them getting, taken down by early aggression really hampers what they're able to do, really, when they want to execute.
And they are going to come around the corner quickly. It's Edward to collect 2, but he runs out of ammunition, and as a result, It's Scream to fire back in exchange, and Flamey's going to try and now come back over and contribute. They at least prohibit the eco from happening. They lose 2 in the process, but guns are coming right back out for Team Kinguin.
Yeah, and yeah, they picked up an op on Michael this time around. That's the second time he's got an op so far in this half. And I would kind of just expect Kinguin to play passively at the beginning, just to see if any aggression from the A bomb side is happening. But it looks like they're just going to go back to what worked for them in the start, which is running straight towards B.
Start goes to Michaelele. I'm not sure why, GoTV, you're doing this to me, but you are. Rain is now going to come back into Flamey, and Fox wants to go for a quick bomb plant. Michaelele is going to get caught with the knife out, and somehow makes it work. What a way to close out the match. Edward, the smoke just too thick from his perspective. He couldn't see, and Michaelele, that's going to do it. And they're a little bit shocked by that. Even they LOL in chat.
So yeah, a bit of a weird way to close out the game. In the end, it was the B takes from Kinguin on that T side that did the work. They were able to get entries pretty much every single time they ran there with weapons. And, well,